Sorry. So, I titled this A Modern Woman, A Modern Power because that's really what the articles I looked at dealt with very heavily was the modern female character. So, like I said, in the three articles I found, which have super long titles, the ideas based around the modern female character in Disney stories is discussed further to show how there's been an evolution from this conventional lack of agency that they've always had to shift now to a focus more on giving these women some of their power in their stories, like Maleficent. All show that kind of change into the modern female character, but none really talk about the literature, the original literature that's associated with them from back when they were first written. It's usually all just movies or something that's more current. So the first one, it's called A Hustle, Sweetheart. I really liked this one because it worked to show how multiple storylines in modern Disney films are working against the grain of what's been established for these princesses to be. They take multiple different stories and they show that there are ways to change the narrative to one that focuses on female empowerment rather than relying on some male character. These stories promote individual female empowerment and choice to make a new way of storytelling for a female character, which is a quote from Siebold on page 7. The other article that I grabbed was The Disney Princess Dilemma, which focused on a very similar topic to the previous article. In this, both of the authors take on the role of discussing how Disney made an established narrative that female gender role. They didn't really let them explore that. They weren't given agency, they were just relying on the success of a man in their life to have their own success. The quote I chose from them was that the stories that are being written or that were being written were serving as a master narrative that shapes our culture's understandings of gender roles and expectations of girlhood, which I completely agree with. They do a good job of nailing that down. Disney's Violent Women in Quest of a Fully Real Violent Woman in American Cinema by Anna Sophia Toth is a really great article and talks about how Disney is giving back its agency to some of these female characters through the use of violence. Now, not everybody agrees with that, but Toth makes this statement of a woman can be aggressive, assertive, and confident while pursuing any aim that does not primarily involve a man or potential marriage, and continues to say that this is becoming the new normal for Disney. I really appreciate the way that she zooms in on that. She doesn't think that these women should sit still and be quiet and just be given this agency. They're violent and they take it back for themselves. The gap that was left in these articles is the lack of recall to the literature associated not just with like Maleficent and the story that I'm talking about, but with all the stories that they've all addressed. They don't pay attention to the past literature and the reasons these stories came to be. They only focus on the past roles of women. Each article ignores the significance of the old literature tied to the past. So my activity for you is think of 3 Disney villains that you think deserve a backstory. Why do you think they should get that?